Hello, everyone, and welcome to this little overview video that I'm hoping you are all going to find handy and dandy. Um, that will go over the outcomes for this course, something that was in the syllabus and that we've spoken to briefly in the introductory weeks here and in the weeks that we've done, but here I want to just go over each one so you even have a better understanding. And the way I've structured this out is I'm going to talk about each one of these 5 outcomes, and I've left space here so that I can grab images and add words as I explain and see if this helps with the thinking process around. So we're going to see how this goes. This is an experiment. This is a prototype. I was looking at all the information that people had provided through their user manuals and through their blogging, and I took that information as I tried to kind of see the course through your eyeballs, and I've heard good feedback about the podcasting. I also heard a lot of people mention that they could use some visual to help. So that's what I'm hoping this brief video is going to do. I also heard that loud and clear as well, is that keeping things chunked into a reasonable amount would also be helpful. So let's see if we can do that with this video. First outcome, demonstrate the principles of a design thinking mindset. Now, this is something that was in the very first assignment. The very first thing we did was the How Might We Inspire Flash Lab. And if we clicked on that video, you're going to see as I go through these pieces that design thinking mindset is explained all in that video. And now we're getting to see links to other things. That's great. Not interested in that at the moment. Thank you very much. Okay, but it's also here in this slide deck as well. So what I'm going to real quickly do is, just as a reminder of what that mindset is all about, it's down here is empathy fueled posture for problem solving. And we've got these mindsets listed here of fail up and yes and bias to action and such. So I'm just going to go back to today's brand new slide deck. And I'm just going to put that little reminder from the Flash Lab. Just going to make a quick extra little text box here. Flash Lab over the How Might We Inspire? And the question is, how have you demonstrated those principles? So that's where those principles are explained, is where you can find out more about those. If you want some more insights there, so return there. But also, you've been reading and learning about a lot of different aspects of design. So those principles can still apply, right? There's not only one set of design thinking principles, but these are the ones that I go on, and these are the ones I'd like to see you demonstrate, and you may be finding more. So as you look at the work that you have done in the course, where do you see those principles of things such as failing up, right? Making mistakes and learning from them and finding that it's okay to do so and adopting that kind of growth mindset around mistake making. And I'm going to change my font here to make it a little easier to read. I'm going to go up to 36 is like a nice, solid, like quickly easy to read font size, right? So if we've got the fail up mindset, where have you been applying that in your work? You might also be looking for examples in your work where you've demonstrated that you've leaned into the squish, which is getting that comfort with discomfort, trying things that are new and uncomfortable. Where have you been doing that in your work? And have I been able to see that in your work? And part of this is activating my brain, letting me in to what you are perceiving as your growth and your understanding, and your journey through uh, this self-assessment and this reflective assessment of your thinking. So that's our first one. Our second here is applying a human-centered, empathy-fueled design process to prototype solutions related to learning. That's a mouthful. What I'm really looking for there is I want to know, do you know how to use the design process? We've been using the deep design thinking process. You've also been learning about others. You've seen reference to Nueva. You've seen some stuff from the D School. You've seen reference to the Ford Institute. There are other design processes out there. Are you applying those yet to solutions that are related to learning? Because that is part of the context for this course. That doesn't have to mean learning is the same context in all places. That doesn't mean it's a classroom necessarily. It may be learning with colleagues, maybe learning through your community. But the idea of, are you using a design process to prototype a solution related to the transfer of knowledge, development, facilitation of knowledge, and for others in some way. And one of those, I just duplicated a thing I didn't mean to. Failing up. Super awesome. It's okay to be messy and raggedy. And then when we're talking about prototype, remember that means it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a starting place. It's a starting place worthy of feedback. If one of the things that's very difficult when we prototype is a lot of people will start making excuses when they roll out a prototype. They'll be like, well, it's just it's a thing, and if I'd had more time, I would have done this and this and this and this and this. Well, that immediately puts the person using the prototype into a place of, I should not invest anything into this. In fact, I don't even want to give you any feedback, because why would I? You've just told me you're not even going to keep it this way ever. There isn't even a chance that this is good, right? That's what happens in those moments. So when we're talking about prototyping, while things can only be a prototype, and we might sometimes refer to things as rapid prototypes or low resolution prototypes, and those are okay. It's fine to reference those as kind of like a quick and disposable solutions. When we're talking about getting to that prototype stage where we can try something out, we want to make it clear that we get something into an actionable feedback place, and that lets our users know that it's worthy of their time as well. So, have you, to what extent have you done that so far in the course? Don't expect you to have done all of these things. It's a whole semester long course, and it's only, as of this recording, October. So there's that. Have you curated? Sorry. Try that again. Have you curated a digital portfolio of tools and strategies? Now you might be freaking out, going, I haven't made a portfolio. That's okay. You don't have to have made a portfolio yet. We're not there yet. Are you starting to put together some new tools and strategies? Thinking about things like empathy surveys, right? Thinking about things like empathy interviews, right? What are you starting to make and create user manuals that are starting to get you to that place where you're thinking about the tools and strategies that you can take away from here and apply elsewhere? Even all of our critical conversation prompts and tasks and activities, all of those moments of critical creativity, you might be seeing those and going, oh wait, I want to do something like that with my learners with whom I work, whether it's my colleagues or my classroom students. I totally want to use that. That's one of those strategies you might put to use. Contribute to a globally connected learning network that respects ethical and legal aspects of educational technology. We haven't pushed hard on this yet, but it's coming. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting into the land of edu Twitter and edu Instagram and finding the social places that work well for us. And we're specifically going to be engaging in the DTK12 chat community because it's a fantastic network of design thinking educators that I want to connect you all with. And are you starting to share your stuff? Are you starting to put your things into the world? And in doing so, are you doing things like citing your sources of inspiration and the like? And finally, critically evaluate low and high-tech tools that support learning. So we've been using a lot of Google Slides, for example, and we've started using some Google Forms, and we're going to start experimenting with Flipgrid and some other tools as well. And I'm going to be asking you to evaluate those. Have you already just been doing that? Oh, I tried to use this thing and it was amazing. Or I tried to use this thing and it was mediocre at best. What technologies are you using? Because we have to keep remembering, even though this is a design class, it is framed within our educational technology program. So it's coming back around to using those things with deliberate intention, right? And support learning. Does it support design work? All these things coming together. All right. I said this was going to be short and chunked. We're at almost 12 minutes, so I'm going to leave it at that, right? Hopefully this helps you out a little bit. And as always, if it doesn't, reach out, holler, and I'll be happy to help.